And we are back. Welcome to my predictions for the FA Cup fourth round replays. Firstly, thank you for Instant Motivation for putting a comment on my video posted earlier this morning, reminding me to do this because I had completely forgotten about this video. So thank you to Instant Motivation for reminding me in the comments. And thank you for you guys for always commenting on my videos to make sure I keeping up with putting out these videos. But today and tomorrow, we have got 5 FA Cup fourth round replays to talk about. So this video is going to encompass all 5 of those matches, 3 today and 2 tomorrow. And if you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video and of course subscribing to the channel as well. As I mentioned earlier, we of course have another predictions video tomorrow for the African Cup of Nations. And if you missed this morning's Asian Cup predictions, make sure to check that one out as well. Right then, let's get into these 5 FA Cup fourth round replays, kicking off with the 3 games taking place tonight, and we'll do it in alphabetical order for those 3 games, starting off with Coventry taking on Sheffield Wednesday. Now, the annoying thing about doing replays is normally when I do these predictions, I go off of head-to-head form and then overall form. But obviously, this is an FA Cup replay. So for all 5 of these fixtures, the head-to-head form says that these previous fixtures were a draw, which of course they were. So you got to look at it more of overall form when it comes to these sort of games. And since Coventry played against Sheffield Wednesday, Coventry have played 2 games, drew 2-2 and lost 2-1. Sheffield Wednesday have played 2 games, drew 0-0 and I think lost 2-0. So Sheffield Wednesday haven't even scored a goal since the first leg, as it were, the original fixture at home. Coventry now the home side, and of course Coventry won the league fixture between these sides at home earlier on this year. Given the fact that Coventry have kept up their goal scoring form and Sheffield Wednesday haven't, I think the fair prediction to go for tonight is a 2-0 win for Coventry. Next up, it is Plymouth against Leeds, and this is a much more interesting one. Now, Plymouth have actually been on a fairly decent run of form at the moment. Basically, I think they're unbeaten in their last 7 or something. Leeds as well, of course, playing very, very well. Both sides, off the back of their FA Cup draw with each other, have got impressive 1-0 away wins. Leeds against Bristol City, Plymouth against Swansea. So going into this fixture, both sides are going to feel confident that they're going to get the result tonight. And like I say, both sides are unbeaten in more than 7 games. So something's got to give. Someone's got to lose tonight. But in 90 minutes, I don't see that happening. So I'm going to go for another 1-1 draw in this one and then leave it up to the fates of the gods of extra time and penalties as to who would go through. Logic would dictate that that side will be Leeds, but Leeds may need to rest some players. They've been playing a lot of games recently and it could be an opportunity for Plymouth to nick one. The final game tonight sees Southampton taking on Watford. This game, of course, again, I think it was a 1-1 draw in the original fixture. I predicted Southampton to win because Southampton have been playing fantastic football at the moment. And in fact, Southampton are unbeaten in their last 23 matches. However, Watford are unbeaten in their last 7 away from home. So despite not actually playing very well in the Championship at the moment, Watford are 7 unbeaten away from home, which just adds a little bit more spice to this one. It's not going to be as easy as people might think for Southampton. That said, again, in the fixtures since this game, Watford have had a 0-0 draw and a defeat without scoring. So it's going to be a big ask for Watford to get a result in this one. I still think Southampton will come out on top, but I'm going to go for a narrow... I said narrow. I thought I did 2-1. I've actually gone for 3-1. But to be fair, on the balance of things, I think that's probably still fair. Southampton are a very good side. If they play their first team, I would expect them to win well. I'm going for 3-1, but it might be 2-1. I'm still a bit flip-floppy about that one right now. On to tomorrow then, there are obviously 2 more games taking place tomorrow. The slightly earlier kickoff is between Nottingham Forest and Bristol City. A game which I think I did a draw in the initial predictions, I'm pretty sure I did for this. But since these 2 sides did draw in the reverse fixture, Nottingham Forest have had a very good performance against Arsenal, which sadly ended in a 2-1 defeat at home, and then had an impressive 1-1 draw with Bournemouth at the weekend in the Premier League. Bristol City, on the other hand, as we've already spoken about, were on the receiving end of that 1-0 home defeat to Leeds. So form is very much in Nottingham Forest's favour. Position, obviously, the fact that Nottingham Forest are a Premier League side, is in their favour, and Nottingham Forest are the home side as well. So everything's really in Nottingham Forest's favour for this one. Bristol City, as we saw against West Ham, are definitely capable of getting a result at a Premier League ground. But for me, this is Nottingham Forest's game to lose. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Nottingham Forest. And then the final game of these FA Cup replays is the later game tomorrow between Aston Villa and Chelsea. Somehow, despite the amount of goals that these teams tend to score and concede at the moment, the reverse fixture in the FA Cup was a 0-0 draw at Stamford Bridge, which is quite staggering, like I say, considering how many goals these two sides both score and concede at the moment. So makes this fixture a little bit more opened up. However, you've got to look again at the results from the last couple of weeks since this game. Chelsea, of course, 4-1 defeat to Liverpool, 4-2 defeat to Wolves at home. Aston Villa, a poor 3-1 home defeat to Newcastle, but then that very impressive 5-0 win against Sheffield United. For me, you have to go for Aston Villa in this one. Depending on what side they put out, they may make changes. They've got a massive Premier League game against Manchester United this weekend. Chelsea, of course, can make changes, and it doesn't really affect the overall quality of their team. They're just, to be honest, a bit bang average, whatever side they put out at the moment, whereas Villa would have a drop-off if certain players miss out. I think Unai Emery will want to win this. I think he'll play his best team. And if they do, I think they'll blow Chelsea away once again. And seeming as Chelsea like to concede 4 at the moment, I'm going to go for 4 again. And I'm going to go for 4-1 to Aston Villa. That'll do it for these FA Cup replay predictions. As always, let me know all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow morning.